Hey everybody, this is Peter B. And today I'm going to talk to you about action photography on baseball cards. Now, one of the earliest cards to depict action photography is the 1912 T202 triple folders, as you see here. They had a hand-drawn from a player photo, portraits on either side, but in the middle was a photograph, an action shot, and each card had a different action shot. This one is called Close at Third, and the two portraits on the other side are Smokey Joe Wood and Tris Speaker. So this is pretty much the first action photography, at least that I know of, on baseball cards. I mean, the old judges had black and white photography, but they were posed portraits in a studio. This is actually action photography. And there were a few series through the years of action photography, and it's always in black and white. And the color cards were pretty much portraits colored in by painters of black and white photos. Then in 1953, Bowman stunned the baseball card world and actually issued cards with colorized or color photos, not colorized, color photos in their 1953 set. No action, just player poses, but they were actually photos that were in color, the first to do that. And Bowman continued using color photos till they went out of business after 1955. Topps in 1952 was colorized black and white photos by painters, and the same all the way up to 1955. In 1956, we see action shots, but it wasn't photography. It was player portrait, hand colored, and then action shot, hand colored in the background. They did have the very nice action photographies, but it was actually hand colored. It wasn't the actual photographs. And Topps eventually, in 1957, issued cards with color photos, but once again, it was players in posed positions. And it wasn't until 1971 where Topps actually used color photos of in-action shots of the players. And they went all out in 1971. Not only did they start doing it, but they really did it. And so I'm going to just go through real quick the color photography action shots, first year ever done by Topps 1971. We have Joe Morgan, Joe Torre, Ron Woods, Kurt Belfry. Oh, and let me back up a bit. These are all action shots of players batting. Frank Fernandez, Danny Cater, Bob Oliver, George Spriggs, Gene Michael, Jake Gibbs, Frank Fernandez, Paul Scull, Roger Repaz, Roy White, Jim Fregosi, Lou Piniella. And if you've been noticing, these are all buybacks, and I actually was collecting the complete buyback 71 set. Now, some cards they did not issue a buyback, and there's two they did issue, but they're from high series, and I missed out on Andy Etchebarren. I saw him once, and I didn't pull the trigger fast enough. And there's another player, I forget who it is, who I've never seen, but if they have a buyback other than Andy Etchebarren and another guy, I did try to collect them all. Continuing of the batters, Danny Cater, Rich Severson, Ed Kirkpatrick. Before the Afro, Oscar Gamble, Rich Reese, Art Shamsky, Felipe Alou, and Jesus Alou, Jim Spencer, Norm Miller. So all those were action photos of players batting from the 1971 Breakthrough Top Set. But they also had pitching. Here is Bob Gibson. Here is Nolan Ryan. Tommy John. Fritz Peterson. Lindy McDaniel. Rudy May. Ray Sadecki. Casey Cox. Chris Short. Mike Paul. Jim McAndrew. So those are all the pitching action shot color photography. But they also did players on the base path, and this is actually my favorite action shot from 71, and that's Kooky Rojas getting ready to jump over probably a Yankee, slide it into second. And he's throwing the ball right at us towards first base. Love this card. So on the base pass, Kooky Rojas. I'm sorry, fielding, Kooky Rojas. Greg Nettles. Ken McCullen. Dale Maxwell. Bud Harrelson. Bud got stamped. He's underneath the 50th anniversary stamp. The player to the right on the mound, the pitcher, is Nolan Ryan. Now, a lot of people don't like these because they're so far away. And there's actually a World Series card in this set of Brooks Robinson after diving in the dirt to make a play. And he looks like he's crawling through the desert. He's just so small. But I like them because they're action. I love action photography. Ken Boswell. And we have next and final set is action photography on the base paths. There's Jerry Grote hustling down the first base. Tommy Agee sliding into second. That's, once again, he's been stamped, but he's the base runner in this card. Real nice Veda Pinson with Thurman Munson there. Whether he tagged him out or he was safe, I'm not sure, but real nice photograph, real nice card. Merv Retman. Tim McGraw taking a lead off first base. Joe Rudy holding the runner. Lee May. And then probably the best card of the whole 1971 set is an action photography play at the plate. And that's Thurman Munson. Classic card. So 1971, first year of color action photography photos on baseball cards. And like I said, they went all out and made a lot of them. And I appreciate them all. To follow up in 1972, they also had a lot of in-action shots. I won't show you all like I just did the 71s, but I'll show you a couple. They actually issued an in-action subset. So there's the Carl Yastrzemski regular base 1972 card, as well as a Carl Yastrzemski in-action card. And Johnny Bench. And Harmon Killebrew. I believe there were 2 more years. 1980 something, I believe, is one of them. They actually made in-action cards as a subset to go along with the base card. And now pretty much all the photos on the cards are in action. With the speed and quality of the cameras used today, it just makes sense. And they can get much closer zoomed in than this far away in action shot. So I hope you enjoyed the in-action baseball cards. I wish each and every one of you a very nice weekend. Thank you.